What is up, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Kat Von D Good Apple Skin Perfecting Foundation Balm. Isn't that a mouthful? In this video, I'm going to be giving you an up-close, zoomed-in look at how this foundation applies, how it wears, how it paired up with my other powder products that I applied over it and whatnot. And we're gonna go on a journey together to see if this new rebranded Kat Von D Foundation Balm is worthy of your moneys. But before we get started in this review video, don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't subscribed to this channel. I like to post new and exciting weekly makeup videos. And let's get to it. Alright guys, so to start off, this is what the new packaging looks like. It's definitely a big change from the previous packaging that Kat Von D had for the compacts, which were like over the top, super artistic. They were black and they were very, very thick. This is just like a clear, simple packaging in comparison to what it used to be, but I mean, I'm not mad at it. It does feel really nice and lightweight, which is cool. But before we swatch it, I do want to read a few things that I found on the Sephora website about the new Good Apple foundation. So what you need to know about it, it's that it's infused with skin nourishing apple extract. This balm minimizes the appearance of pores, gives the skin a smooth, healthy look. The non-cakey, flashback-free formula covers blemishes and discolorations for a speedy confidence boost. Good to your skin and the planet. This product comes in an innovative compact that's fully recyclable with no mirror, magnets, or metals. Okay, so there's a reason why they changed the packaging from like that super over-the-top Kat Von D packaging to this more like simple plastic-looking thing. And it sounds like it's made from recycled plastic, which is good for the environment. They do encourage you to recycle your compact once you're finished with your product, so I really love their efforts behind a more sustainable brand. So now that that's over with, let's go ahead and swatch it, which I just did, and I do gotta say, it's like, it feels really creamy. So let me pick more of this up. It feels so creamy, guys. I've tried so many balms on the back of my hand and on my clients when I worked at Sephora, and most matte balms, which this is, they feel very creamy, like a thick cream, and this does not feel like that. So let me go ahead and give you a swatch. And that's our swatch. As you can see, it went on amazing. I'm getting immediate pigmentation. I'm getting a lot of coverage. As you can see, it covered some of the green in my veins, which is really cool. But I just feel like what has impressed me the most so far, just by touching it and blending it, is how incredibly lightweight and buttery it is, and creamy. It just feels so nice and natural. Before we jump into our application, I do want to note that this is a full coverage foundation. The finish is matte, the formula is cream, and it's infused with sodium hyaluronate, which hydrates the skin. So good for the planet, good for your skin, love. I did pick the shade Light 15, which I feel like on the packaging it looks a little bit light. I mean, in comparison to like my neck, what my natural skin tone is right now, because it's winter, I think we can make it work. Alright guys, so to prep my skin, I used the Youth to the People hydrating oil beforehand. It has been sitting on my skin for about 5 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up my Good Apple Balm, and I'm just going to directly dip my foundation brush right in there, and then we're going to do our dang. Okay, so first initial thought is that we are getting really nice intense pigmentation. I feel like I kind of picked up quite a bit of foundation, and I feel like it's also just like a smudge bit too light in comparison to my neck. At least that's what it looks like here in front of my mirror. I don't know if that's really, I don't know if you can see that through the camera, but oh my god, yeah. So blendability feels really good. I feel like it's going on very nice and even. It's covering, it's full coverage, it's covering everything, which I really appreciate. It obviously doesn't have as much full coverage as the Lock-It foundation by Kat Von D, but I mean, it looks beautiful. I see a glow. Can you see that? It definitely feels and looks hydrating. It's not heavy. Even though it's a balm, it's not feeling heavy. It's actually feeling really lightweight. Like as I'm talking and I'm like moving my face muscles, the foundation just feels like it's not even on my skin. So I'm really loving that. I really love how it's going on with my foundation brush. So we'll have to see how it goes on with my beauty blender. I'm gonna pick up a smaller brush. This is my Morphe Y10. We're gonna spread that out. Oh, Jesus. I think I picked up a little bit too much with this brush, so let me just spread it out and get even more full coverage on these other areas of my face. Okay, so one half of my face is finished and it looks really light, but I think I can definitely do my best to try to bronze it up. I'm gonna use a lot of bronzer, I can already tell, but I feel like I have an even distribution. The foundation blended in like a dream. It was like butter. I had no trouble blending it into my face. I feel like it's sitting on my skin very beautifully, and I know I had a blemish right here on the top of my lip, and this Kat Von D Apple Balm totally covered that up, which, you know, I don't need concealer. The Good Apple Balm did all of the work for me. Full coverage, full coverage, full coverage. Okay, so now I'm gonna pick up my beauty blender and we're just gonna dip it in there. I picked up a lot, so alright, so for this I'm gonna do a super zoom into my skin. So you can see right now I'm having some hormonal acne, as you can see here, a little bit from my face mask, but mostly hormonal acne. I tend to get it right here. So we're going to see if the Good Apple Balm foundation does a good job at giving me full coverage and covering up this hormonal acne breakout that I have going on. Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I feel like the beauty blender, the sponge, is giving me way more full coverage than the brush side, and I kind of really like that. I feel like Casper the Ghost. I do want to note though that on this side I feel like the Good Apple Balm foundation oxidized just a tiny bit, because I feel like it looks so much better blending into my neck. So I feel like, as you can see, it started off like this, like really bright, very light, almost too light for my skin tone, but once it dries down and oxidizes, it looks very natural, and it's starting to pick up some of my natural warm tones that are on my skin. So I really like that, and I wanted to make that note. Yes, it might go on a little bit light initially, but it does oxidize just a tiny bit. Not bad. Gosh, I'm gonna grab like a towel. Just rub some foundation off of this beauty blender, because that is definitely enough. Alright my friends, so it's been about 3 minutes and I feel like the foundation on this side, the beauty blender side, it's still oxidizing a little bit, but I feel like it's not as light as it was. As you can see over here, it's fully oxidized. Over here it's still doing its thing, you know what I mean? But I do have to say that I personally prefer the beauty blender side. I think that with my beauty blender I'm able to get more of that full coverage, because the sponge is able to really pack down that foundation and blend it in really nicely. And I feel like the foundation does a really good job at using the natural warmth in your body to kind of help it melt or sit on the skin more naturally. So I just really am liking this foundation a lot. I'm getting full coverage, I'm getting luminosity. It feels so lightweight. It's still kind of hard to believe just how lightweight it is for how full coverage it is, which is really amazing. I do have to say I'm impressed. Love the natural glow. I don't know, I just feel like everything about this foundation is phenomenal. And let's not forget that it comes with natural ingredients. So Kat Von D killed it with this foundation formula. Is really totally worth your bucks. Alright, so now I'm just going to finish up my look. I'm going to be using my Fenty Beauty Sun Stalker Bronzer. I am the shade Island Ting. So it looks like another great thing about the foundation is that my powder products, my bronzer here, which is a really matte bronzer, it's blending very easily into this foundation, and it's not splotchy or uneven whatsoever. It's going on super evenly, and I feel like the foundation is helping the bronzer in a way. Don't get me wrong, this is also a really great product, but sometimes powder products don't go on perfectly on top of some foundations. I would say that mostly happens with very lightweight foundations such as like BB creams or tinted moisturizers. It's just not really easy to pack on a powder bronzer on top of that. I also want to note that I did not touch my face with any translucent powder after applying this foundation. I'm just letting it be its best and greatest self, and I feel like there's no setting powder needed to lock this baby in. So now I'm going to use my Becca Cosmetics Mini Champagne Pop. Next, I'm going to line my lips using the Saint Luxe lip liner in the shade Love Letter. So now I'm just going to smudge it inwards. In the Black and Ombre, because I'm gonna top it off with the Makeup Forever Artist Rouge Matte. I think this is my M101. This is what it looks like. And I'm just gonna blend the two colors just using my fingertip. Just like that. And last but not least, I want to top it off with some gloss. I'm going to be using the Stila Plumping Lip Glaze in the shade Kitten. Alright guys, so this is my finished result, and I do have to say I am so incredibly happy with the way that my foundation and my overall look turned out. I really enjoyed applying the new Kat Von D Good Apple Skin Perfecting Balm. Like I said before, I really love the luminosity. I like how it went on. I like that it gave me full coverage and that I didn't struggle whatsoever with putting this on my face. And I feel like the warmth of my skin just made the foundation even better. It like made it its greatest self. And like you guys saw as I was applying my bronzer, my very matte bronzer, it applied beautifully onto the Good Apple Balm, and I'm just overall so incredibly pleased and happy. And I gotta say, Kat Von D knocked it out of the ballpark with this one. It's worth your bucks. And that does it for this video, my friends. Thank you so very much for watching, especially if you stuck to the end. If you liked this video and found some value from it, please don't forget to drop me a like, and also consider subscribing if you haven't. I like to post new and exciting weekly makeup videos. And like always, I want to thank you so very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.